Hello and welcome back to the Chromecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do the Spirit Guide Monthly live every last Friday of the month. I hope you're able to join me. I also do astrology readings by the sign by the month in love and relationships and in money and career. Don't forget to look for those in your sign. But I also do this, pick a card readings, and this timeless pick a card reading, remember all timestamps will be in the description box down below. This timeless pick a card reading is what do you need to know right now? That's the question that we're asking the cards in 4 piles. So there'll be an insert in a moment so that you can pause it, concentrate, see which one really comes out to you. That is the message that you're most meant to receive. There are 4 piles. They're clearly marked. Take a moment, see which one stands out to you. That is your message, and I will see you at the time of your reading for what do you need to know right now. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 1, then this is your reading. The Dreamkeeper's Tarot will be bringing you a predictive spread. We've got some pre-selected oracle cards about what you need to know right now. Before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. The old one, the ancestors call, seek their wisdom. Immediately you're being told you need to try and meditate to receive information from your guides and from your ancestors. We have different fateful occurrences that are meant to happen on our life path. Looks like you've got one coming up because your ancestors need you to try and get with them for guidance. There we go. Actually really enjoy the illustrations on this particular deck. All right, what else have we got? We have hope. I love hope. This is the Enchanted Blossoms. Hope. Remember, hope can feel like a risk when you've been through a great deal. Hope can be one of the most difficult energies to achieve. But even the negative things that happen in our lives can be paving the way for the positive things. Never give up hope when you feel yourself losing it. Just keep telling you that the only constant in life is change. So if you're going through the poo right now, that means that soon that fertilized field will bloom. Here we go. Whoa, what was that? One of your oracle cards was like, no, me first. All right, we have do not fear the unknown. You may be afraid of making changes. One of the things that your ancestors want to talk to you about is apparently helping to guide you on a path. Do not fear the unknown. We sometimes are stuck in an energy where we're kind of content with our own level of misery. That's one way of putting it, where we're just used to something, the devil you know type of energy. Sometimes people won't make a move because they're afraid of making things worse. Remember, take a hopeful attitude, not towards one thing, not towards one outcome, not towards one relationship, but overall. If something doesn't work out for you, it means that there's something else for you. Never give up hope and do not fear change. Change is the way things get better. All right, we have wisdom, whoa, psychic intuition and truth. Lots of the times when we get information about trying to connect with our guides, it's because you're trying to level up. They're trying to help you level up in your intuitive gifts, in your ability to see, in your ability to discern. One of the things that you can do is third eye balancing, which you can do through Jason Stevenson or Meditative Mind, or 2 of the channels that I recommend. I always tell people start with free stuff. Most of the time it works. This is stuff you can fall asleep to if you're having some anxiety issues, because we've got don't fear the unknown. It could be that you've got some anxiety issues as well. Wisdom is putting learning practices into place to try and ground, to try and balance, to tap into your own gifts. Remember, anxious people are actually incredibly intuitive. It's just taken a wrong turn. So the difference between anxiety and intuition, anxiety scares you. It poses questions. What if this happens? What will I do? What will I do? It asks this question. It gives you scenarios. It doesn't give you solutions. Your intuition tells you things. It provides information. It tells you what to do. They are from the opposite areas of your body. One is your third eye and the other is your root chakra. Anxiety issues are in your root chakra. If you're having trouble with anxiety, then balance your root chakra, do a full chakra alignment, and then go towards third eye opening exercises, and it will help a great deal with connecting with your ancestors. I have dances on 1 foot, balancing act. Balance your chakras. Apparently, you need to get yourself in energetic balance to try and tap into your own gifts, your own intuition, and your own guidance. And then I have know your truth. Sometimes we are denying the need to make changes in our life out of a fear-based place because we're afraid things might get worse rather than better. The fact of the matter is that sometimes they will, like in the short term, but everything is interconnected. We think of events as being separate, but they are not. The worst things that happen to you actually make the next best thing possible because everything is a tapestry. Everything is woven together. Let's get going with your predictive spread here. What have we got for pile number one? What do they need to know right now? And as these cards reveal the need, I will take other oracle cards as it pertains to this particular message, okay? So I'm not sure what it's about other than tapping in and getting guidance, particularly about your life's path, if there's a change you've been resisting making, and there is guidance for you on how to make it, and also how to deal with the fear that comes with making those changes, because change is not usually instantaneous. Reality assembles around us a piece at a time. Let's get going here. 1 and 2. Oh, there we go. I have the Fool in reverse. That is a look before you leap energy. It is older and wiser energy. It is also starting over again energy. Listen, if something failed, if something didn't work out, whether it's a job, whether it's a project, whether it's a relationship, that does not mean that that's a trend in your life. It just means that you went towards something that may have been teaching you a lesson or was not for you, and there is something else for you. There really is a plan and a purpose for everyone if we try to go towards it. Let's keep going here. 1 and 2 and 3. The Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. Watch your self-talk. Please watch your self-talk. That is somebody who is not being, this energy cannot be appeased. Sometimes this is an uncompromising energy. The Queen of Swords in the upright stands in her truth. I'm always saying that's the person you want behind you in a bar fight because she can take people down with her words. Remember, gender is meaningless in tarot, so that has nothing to do with whether or not a person identifies as male or female. We all contain masculine and feminine energies, and the Queen of Swords in reverse does not mince her words. Combined with this and some of these other messages, watch your self-talk. Tell yourself what you can do, not what you can't. I have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. Or is it time to change jobs? With the Hermit in the upright. That's the card for Virgos. It's also a soul-searching card, a life's purpose card, looking within for the answers. Usually this is depicted as a cloaked figure with a lantern, which is the same thing as Diogenes in Greek mythology, looking for a man who is telling the truth. The search is supposed to be endless, but in the Hermit card, it means looking for truth within. Apparently, you have guidance that you are not tapping into. With the 2 wands in reverse, which is making a plan and committing to it, I think that's what you're having difficulty with. Yep, Page of Swords in the upright. Electronic communications. It can actually be research as well. Remember, this is air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Keep in mind, I'm really not going to be calling out astrological implications here very much, but this is air sign energy as well. This is earth sign energy, as is this. Wands are fire sign energy. We have the 5 of Swords in the upright, which is a conflict card. It can be a feeling of defeat, but I'm really not seeing it in this one. This particular energy, boy, she's got tentacles. You are equal to any task that is put before you. Self-doubt seems to be the message of this pile. The thing that you read to know right now is that you have the wherewithal, the ability to overcome your self-doubt. That if you keep telling yourself that nothing has meaning to it, then you will never see the meaning. If you keep looking for the meaning, then you will find it. I have the Page of Cups in reverse. And then I have the 3 of Swords in the upright. Let's take one more on that, King of Wands in reverse. Okay, past pain is keeping you from taking actions in the here and the now that would benefit your journey. It looks like it may have to do with a profession and with a purpose. You are being asked to try and meditate more, to know your truth, to be guided towards what your purpose is here. Remember, this entire life's journey is like where we hit a university and we're trying to learn things. That's all karma is, by the way. Karma is not about punishment or reward. Karma is about lessons learned that we then release and more positive lessons come to us, or negative lessons that we didn't quite fulfill the kind of the level that our soul, our higher self would like us to, and so the lesson repeats. And that's all karma is. It genuinely is not about getting your butt kicked by the divine. It is about learning lessons about how to be your highest self. You've had some things apparently not work out, and now you're having a hard time making yourself go forward because you're afraid that history is going to be repeating. You are different and your results will be different. Remember, every failure that we encounter gives us information on how to succeed. Let's get a fortune reading card here, because this is not looking like a personal pile. It's looking like kind of one that has a lot to do with business. So we're going to be going for the Quantum Oracle, and we're going to be going for the Enchanted Map. And I think I'm going to get Tedra's deck involved here, which is the Apparently So deck. By the YouTube rules, I do need to let you know this was given to me, and I'll drop a link in the description box down below if you're interested in buying it, but I will not receive anything. I'm just trying to help out a fellow creator. Let's go for pile number one. What else do they need to know? There's a change that you know you need to make, and you're hesitating on it because you look at your track record rather than the lessons that you've learned from your track record. Remember, as you learn more, as you gain more confidence, you change, and so your outcomes change. Devil, take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. And then you need to tap in, start opening your third eye. Pay attention to your intuition at this time and move ahead confidently. Here's the thing, temptation and deceit, I think it's a self-defeating attitude that you're dealing with. Well, if I try that, what if it's just a repeating pattern? What if I still get the same results? What if nothing works out? You seem to be talking yourself out of your own success with the Ace of Pentacles in the upright. This really does appear to be a purpose card, a 3D, what you're meant to be doing in your work. Remember, a purpose is not the same thing as a profession. Our purpose here is to learn particular lessons, and when we learn them, then that frequently evolves into a profession. But the first part is learning the lessons. You apparently need to make a change in something that you're doing in your 3D world to provide for yourself, and you're afraid to. You're lacking confidence, you're lacking, basically I think you've lost hope, and along with it went faith. Now sometimes, and it's the hardest thing, when things are not going our way, when it feels like all you've done is trudge through the desert for 40 darn years without anything working out, it can be impossible to believe that something is on your side. We over-invest in the idea that if the divine loves us, we will have an easy life. Ease is not what we learn from. We are meant to have a varied experience. Sometimes things are going to be difficult, but it is the contrast that again gives the resulting joy of our next great experience that much more magnitude. If you had never been grief-stricken, you would not understand joy at the level that you do. And so we are brought here to have a variety of experiences. I have Thief. Okay, shed light on the potential wealth within that can never be stolen. You have too many doubts in yourself according to this pile number one. The shadow attribute is stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Here's kind of what I've got with that Devil and the Deceit card and then Thief card here. I think you had a really good idea and you talked about it potentially with the wrong people, because the Queen of Swords is also someone in reverse like that. It can be somebody that you shouldn't trust entirely. And so you found yourself deprived of good ideas or people who are not being authentic in the way they were representing themselves. They were out for themselves. You learned to not trust yourself through that. You can trust yourself. You need to be very guarded with other people. You've been learning boundaries after difficult experiences, what it looks like. And your guide team is saying, please stop blaming us. We don't have control over other people. We have been trying to guide you. And even when something doesn't work out, guess what that was teaching you? Better discernment about people. Even if you have had somebody enter your life who was not worthy, then all that means is that you've learned lessons about how to spot that, how to see it, and how to reject it going forward. All right, let's go. What else do we have here? I'm telling you, the Hare and the Oak, new opportunities. Group number one, I'm not sure what you're doing on this, but it looks like you're seriously hesitating around a new venture, a new business, a new idea, and you're holding yourself back because you're afraid of the past repeating itself. You're not really trusting that anything is talking to you when you try and meditate, because you've got an idea in your head that after you meditate, you'll have like an actionable script. Point A, point B, go to here, go to there. That is not how it works. When we meditate, when we ask for guidance, things are planted in our subconscious that we can then act upon at a different time. And that's how guidance works, is that when we meditate and we ask for help, we always get some form of answer, but people expect like a billboard in their head or something. It's not quite how it works. What do we need to know for pile number one? All of this is hammering down on that you know you need to take a risk, you know you need to expand. you've got yourself caught in a fearful energy. Great gratitude. Oh, you're having trouble with that though. You're having trouble with being grateful for a varied experience when something hurt too much with that Three of Swords. And then the King of Wands in reverse is something not working out and it being very frustrating and you felt very drained. Again, your past does not, we've got dark thoughts on that as well. 2 cards flew across the room and I'm going to chase them down. I did that. Yesterday was leg day, so if you heard me saying ouch, it's because I had to squat down and get them. Ow. Dark thoughts, taking steps, your higher self, and the healing light. You've got some self-defeating attitude around a change that you need to make. It's not your fault and you're not being shamed or blamed. But you're being reminded that in order to succeed, we have to be able to spot the ways in which we need to make changes in our process, that we learn from every, like failure, there are no real failures. There are learning opportunities. If we look at a situation not for did I succeed or fail, but what can be different next time to yield a better and a more successful and a more sustaining result for myself. Let's also go ahead and is there anything that pile number 1 needs to know from the Apparently So deck? I really am enjoying this. It's very down to earth and wording on it, and I can sound a little funny talking about it, honestly. Here we go. We're going to take these 2. Apparently, your blessings became another lesson. Another's lesson. Interesting. This thief energy, and it really is like somebody tried to take advantage of you. You've become way too guarded around that. Even if you had somebody who was working from a bad agenda, somebody who was working from a selfish agenda, that does not indicate what all of humanity is like. When we're vulnerable, we can be a little bit vulnerable to predators. If you had an experience that was negative, remember, it's just teaching you better skills going forward. And then we have love yourself. Love is supposed to be for self, too. Sugarfoot. Okay, here's the thing. Until you love yourself at the level where you know that it's like, hey, I'm pretty much a great person. I really admire myself. I'm always trying to do better in my life. I'm always trying to go towards purpose and towards my higher self. Until that's how you view yourself, it will be very difficult for you to have a lasting love in your life from any area, romantic or professional or anything working out, because it basically has to do with we get what we know we deserve. Believe in yourself. You're resilient. You keep trying. You're stuck in a slightly, like, I want to say clogged energy, and it does look to do with a person who may have not represented themselves. Magic Stream and then Sad Embrace fell out immediately. Hey, Magic Stream is exactly what I was talking about at the top of this reading, which everything is interconnected. We try to treat it like it's a separate instance. Like, I tried as hard as I could. I was guided towards this, and you know what happened? I fell on my face and I bloodied my nose, and I'm never doing that again. And your guides are up there saying, listen, you're getting guidance on a bigger roadmap. You needed to learn from that. Don't look at it for what didn't work out. Look at it for, okay, what were the signs that I missed, potentially in people that I've allowed into my life. I talked to other people about what I was developing, and they were not in an ethical place, and they misused that information. But don't let that depress you. Just feel sorry for them. They're going to watch you soar. People who try to misuse the confidence and the trust of others do not succeed. They might appear to on the exterior, but that is the measure of success based on, like, what do you have in your bank account? What you have in your bank account is not the same thing as what you have in your heart. And a truly successful life comes from a rich, loving interior world. You can have all the money in the world, but if nobody can stand you, then you're as lonely as can be. Then we have Magic Prayer, and then we have Solitude with Into the Unknown. What do we got over here as well? Share wisdom, and then I had Into the Unknown, know your truth. Yeah, do not fear the unknown. Into the unknown, do not fear the unknown. Please don't hesitate to make changes because you're afraid of repeating patterns. You are different, you will have different attitudes and different results. Solitude is independence. Sometimes we really do spend far more time by ourselves than we would like to because we need to get in touch with our power for ourselves because we have basically a role to fulfill in this life. We have something to do that is important, something that will guide us, something that will fulfill us, and something that was part of our journey when we came here, what we decided we wanted to do with this life. New opportunities. I think you're really shut down to new connections as well. Law of attraction. Each thought is an investment that pays immediate dividends, so invest wisely. You have the power to choose your thoughts and align them with love, peace, and harmony. At your request, we will gladly attune your energies to your higher frequencies. Listen. One of the things that drives me a little bit nuts about how the law of attraction is taught is that it tells you don't have negative thoughts. Don't look at a terrible experience in which you know, oh, you were abused or your leg was broken or like any multitude of horrible things happened. And the law of attraction says don't dwell on the negative. Listen, you got to heal that energy. Examine what it did to you. Examine the pain, look for the lesson, and then release it. There is actually no way to deny ourselves to a better life, but we can heal and release and continually evolve, going to a higher and higher frequency in that manner. When we try to deny negative emotions, basically they're still back there. We're just trying not to acknowledge them. Acknowledge them, deal with them, release them. It's getting stuck in that energy of hopelessness or the ability that nothing changes. Everything can change when we believe that we can change things. Believe in yourself and try to get more guidance. Whatever it is that you're hesitating on branching out on, it's like you're very discouraged. And it did have to do with a person as well. You might have invested trust in the wrong person. That is not because you are foolish. It is because some people are corrupt. And you will get better and better at spotting that in other people. Let's keep going here. Let's get some fortune cookie cards too. I'm not going to close this out quite yet because I want to get an infinity oracle, and then I think I'm going to get a making magic as well. There we go. Society. I never read these paragraphs any longer. They never have any validity. Like sincerely, for a while I was driving myself nuts reading them over and over again, and it was only ever the keyword that had validity. Why does it work like that? I don't know. All different readers have a different relationship to their cards. The keywords may have validity for me, but the paragraphs don't. If you get this deck, then it is quite possible that they will have, all of it will have validity for you, but this is how it's worked out for me. Perseverance. You may not feel like you're getting anywhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. That's what perseverance is. That's why I'm reading the paragraph below it. Don't measure your progress by your failures alone. Even if things are taking more time, it is not because you are being denied. It is saying stop, observe. What are you being asked to learn about your experience? And remember, a successful life is not just about gain. Every single day contains beautiful opportunities to celebrate the fact that you're alive, that you have sensation, that you can feel things, that you can enjoy beauty, that you can love your life. Success is not just money. Reinvent yourself. That is starting new as well. And then I have planning. Ooh, well, there was romance. I'm going to pick that up, though. I'm not sure that romance is entering into this particular one, although you may be closed down on that. You have the solitude energy. You're being asked to focus on self. There is a change that you are hesitating on making in your path, apparently. Tap in for more guidance. If something didn't work out, it was because there was a lesson involved in it. You weren't misled. And like, I've really got this creepy energy of like somebody who did not do right by you. And you're measuring your, I guess what you're supposed to do against that. Well, I thought I was supposed to do this, and then I encountered this creepy thief person, and now I think maybe I just got, tricked, swindled. You didn't. Look at that particular set of circumstances. What were the red flags that you're very trusting and you see the world as you are. And you're not being asked to not be trustful any longer. You can still be a trusting person, but extend it appropriately, meaning that it's always there to be gained by the right people, but you do not extend it automatically. There were red flags in that situation, but you try to see the best in everybody. That's because you're just a good person, okay? Like, genuinely, don't abandon that and don't think that the world is filled with people who are corrupt. It isn't. It isn't. But unfortunately, until you have really strong boundaries, occasionally we really have to work on things. Here's that self-defeating energy here as well. You've been withdrawing into self. You haven't been very happy with your outcomes. Something was very difficult for you. And you felt very frustrated and potentially kind of jerked around. There are lessons in what didn't work out. Please look for the lessons and know that what happened in the past, everything stumbles as it tries to get up and to walk forward and then to thrive and then to have this energy and momentum behind it. If it's been a case of, well, I tried, I was told to do this, but it didn't work out, it's like, but it's a gradual process. You're being prepared, you're being changed, you're being taught, you're evolving. It's okay if not absolutely everything catches root and flourishes and grows, because it may not have been the point of why you were guided to that. Look for the point, particularly in this instance where I keep picking up this creeper, particularly in that instance, because this can be a liar as well. If somebody misled you, that is not because you were guided towards a thief. It is because you were guided towards a set of circumstances in which you could learn a valuable lesson with a minimal loss to yourself. It is to fuel your success, not to impede it. We have Felix Felicitas, power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. And then power symbol, cleanse, purify, and protect the physical body. Okay, so group number one, what do you need to know right now? You have halted a journey because of a disappointment, and you're focusing on that it didn't work out, I must have been misled on my path, I must have been wrong, and that is not what the lesson was. Whoever it is that you encountered that caused you to be disillusioned with this entire process, there was a lesson in that particular encounter. Look for the lesson, and remember the law of attraction. Do not try and force yourself into a I'm positive, I'm good. If you're unhappy, if you've had a lot of trauma, heal first. That is the way to resolve and to release. Denial is just repression, and it kind of compounds it, and it causes kind of pressure to build. Heal and become powerful. And that instance that we're talking about where somebody misled you, honest to goodness, if you can look back and spot the red flags, you've just been armed for your next encounter, and you'll spot it a mile away next, and you will be proud of yourself. What you need to know right now is keep going, go back to tapping in, do not lose face, there is more to come. Look for the lessons, don't look for the ways in which you think you were misled. You were never misled by your spirit guide team. Sometimes they have to lead us on an uneven path to get to where we're going. So sometimes we are guided towards things that it's like, why would you do that to me? Because there was a lesson there. There was a lesson there to make you more powerful, to make you more enlightened, to make you happier, to make you more successful, and to make you more joyful. Please don't overinvest in suffering that will pass if we allow it to heal. If we allow it to heal. And I really do speak from experience, and your pain matters so much that you deserve to feel better. Okay, group number one, that was your message. Take care, be well, tap in. There is more information for you. Look for the lesson and you will learn it. Take care, be well. Hello, welcome back. If you chose pile number two, then this is your reading. We have the In-Between Tarot bringing you a predictive spread. I actually really enjoy it. It has unusual illustrations on it. Pile number two is going over there. If anybody joins us in progress, they'll be able to find it easily. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. Let's go. All right, here we go. We have the Thimble Witch. There is magic in beginning, so start something new. Ooh. Apparently, something new is coming to you. Potentially a manifestation that you've been working on for a while that you may have lost some faith in. Serenity, beautiful. Peace, serenity, loving it. We have attachment, accumulation, defensiveness, security. Sounds like it has to do with something having to do with security. I think you're getting really guarded around that, though. Remember to live in a free energy on that. Try to be open and receptive and to live in flow. Don't deny yourself things. Remember that a poverty mindset it's not that it blocks you from anything. It drives me a little bit nuts when people talk about things like that. You will not block your blessings, but you will impede your pleasure in life. It won't change much of anything. That which is meant for you is coming to you. That what you're working towards, that what you're trying to manifest is coming towards you. But we only have this moment in our consciousness, so try to enjoy it. And that includes allowing yourself to have a life that you're celebrating. That's not just about spending money. What it is about is being kind and generous, being open and receptive. Live in the energy of flow, and more will flow to you with greater ease. All right, we have love without condition. Uh-oh, what happened now? Okay, unconditional love. Oh, let's see what's happening. All right, I have skywriting the fates. Live your bliss. Okay, we have a bunch of things manifesting around you, potentially a relationship as well. We'll keep going here. I will add other oracle cards to this mix as the reading reveals the need for them. A fateful occurrence around some magic, apparently. We do have fateful occurrences in our lives. Now, how can we have fate, but everything is determined by our choice? Because we think of fate as being a line, and here's point A, point B, point C. If you hit those, then you're on your fateful path. Here's the thing, we get course corrected back to fateful places where we can make fateful decisions. So you can take a myriad of choices, and then an opportunity will come to course correct you back to the central fateful timeline. If you don't take it, then, you know, that's just a lesson that you kind of carry forward to your next life. Okay, I have the Four of Pentacles in the upright. That's being guarded. I swear I started out with that, is that I get this feeling that you're being very guarded around something, particularly around money, particularly around abundance. That love without condition, let's keep going here. The sense that I've got here is that past connections not working out have left you very guarded against new ones. Will it change anything? Not with that fate cards. It won't. It's just whether, okay, that guy stayed behind, so we're taking him. All right, we have the Eight of Swords, which is doubt. It's not having a path forward. Oh dear. This is not what's happening to you, but it's the energy that you're living in, unfortunately. And it's because, I believe, of past pain. You're very guarded. In order to protect yourself, apparently, you're being very guarded. We have the Lovers in reverse, which is a card of choices. It's also the card for Geminis. I have the Five of Swords in reverse. That is a defeatist mindset sometimes. Let's keep going here. I have the Ace of Cups in reverse. Yep, this has something to do with a relationship. Queen of Pentacles in the upright. I love this. It's earth sign energy. I would see the Queen of Pentacles as somebody who is just, she has so much common sense, truly the earth mother type of energy. Somebody who is able to be very practical, but also nurturing. She has a great balance between her emotions and her practicality. You keep talking yourself out of emotional risks is what it looks like. Four of Wands in the upright. Okie dokie. I'm sorry about that. This is new relationships. It can be weddings. It can be security. It can be celebrations. The Four of Wands is also the 1111 card. I have the Page of Wands in reverse. You won't take actions around new relationships. With the Sun in the upright, it's not going to stop anything. That's the birth of something new. Two of Cups in reverse. All right. Group number 2, this appears to be about relationships and not, potentially, it's funny because I don't have the heartbreak card here, but I have this guarded energy. I have this blocked energy. I have this I live in my soul independent energy. Remember, independence is incredibly important for a healthy relationship. Codependence it can be limiting at first, but it almost always turns toxic because it has a tendency to grade our ability to believe in our own personal power. And that's why even mild codependence is something to work on. And can it be mild? Of course it can. Like some codependence is like, drug addicts who get together and they use together, and that's incredibly toxic. And that can be fatal. That's a form of codependency that is fatal. But in most instances, it's simply a case of being convinced that like your life won't be complete until you have a partner. That like there's something missing rather than like, hey, I'm building this wonderful, thriving, independent energy. And won't it be awesome when I find the right person to share that with me? But they'll never be able to take it away from me because it's what I built by myself. And that's what confidence is, what's still allowing someone in your life. It looks like you're a little blocked off on that. Yeah. It's like if anybody, it kind of looks like if anybody flirts with you. Yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse. Man, you're sending off the, get the heck back. You're associating solitude with peace. Like you're not seeing the gain in the idea of a relationship. Now, if this is not resonating for you, this is simply not your pile because it's not really subtle here. We have networker, we have light attributes, enhances unity through sharing of information and gender, social awareness, and empathy. But the shadow attributes is conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. Not getting that at all, but the networker card is please allow people into your life. If you have been recovering from trauma, trauma, there is a stage in recovery that is called extreme independence, where you have been let down by so many people that you no longer allow people into your life. You start focusing entirely on paving your path by yourself. And what you're being asked to recommend is, because the Sun in reverse with the Two of Cups in reverse, you have a relationship that very much wants into your life. You're very guarded on it. And will it change anything? Not really. You will get multiple opportunities on a fateful pairing. Like if you keep trying to turn something down and it's part of what your higher self has agreed to as your path in this life, it's going to keep coming back to you in some form. Here's the thing, I think that you're trying to live in a purposeful energy. I think that you've got a lot of things going on with this Queen of Pentacles energy, but that you've decided there is no path forward for you around relationships because of past actions that caused you to doubt the validity and the worth of pairing up. You've likely had a bad breakup with this. And the networker card is suggesting to me that for the most part, your social interactions is like you really only interact with people around business. Like you're shut down to the idea of friendship, to connection, to dating. Like I said, I've got this weird energy that if anybody dares flirt with you, man, it's like you just died for how much of a response you'll give to them. Like it really is like you freeze over like the thing that sank the Titanic. And it's okay if it's based on the person flirting with you where it's like, no, not in a month of Sundays. But it's something to examine if you're doing it because, now I've had past relationships that didn't work out. First of all, you are allowing those past relationships to control your future. You are different, you will have a different result. And please don't prejudge people. It's a really hard thing to do when you've been hurt a great deal, but as you've healed, you've become stronger, your energy changes, and the people who are attracted to you are different as well. Here, oh yep, stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking attack. That was your past. What do we got going on? What you need to know right now is please live in a more open and receptive energy. You will never have to have a relationship that you do not want to have. But try not to base it in, I won't have a relationship because I don't want to have my life screwed up again. You are different. How you value relationships is different. Nothing will have the power to lay you that darn low if you are living in this purposeful and independent energy as suggested by the Queen of Pentacles and the Lovers in reverse. The Four of Wands is spirit guide messages. It is the 1111 card. The Sun is something new. It's the birth of something new. It looks like it's coming in the summer season as well. Oh, the Dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. Wedding rings, union and wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise, love, unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, attraction, and affection. Let us talk about this because what do we have here? Love without condition. What do we have here? Unconditional love. Yo, pile number 2. Here's the deal. If you have been hurt as badly as this stabbed in the back energy suggests, even if it was like, you know what, I don't even know if I was going to be okay. Why would I ever risk doing that to myself again? Because it's not going to happen again. You invested wholeheartedly in relationships in the past, but you've learned a great deal about the things that you were, I think, the things that you were overlooking because you wanted things to work out so very much. And so you ignored red flags. Your empathy caused you to excuse away a great many, I kind of want to say, live your bliss. Attachment. I think we are dealing with healed codependency here, but your idea of living in a healed energy is like, now I don't need anybody. Hooray, no more people. That's not going to give you the most joyful, blissful experience. Now, can you make that decision? Yes. Sincerely, the divine is never going to take a battering ram to your door and be like, but it's romantic love, you must accept it. What you are being reminded of is that you're giving more of your power away to your past self. when you don't accept the fact that it's like, I did change. If somebody comes into my life and they're the right person, then, you know, I'm a different person. I'm going to have a different result. I did all this work so that things could be different. And there is room in your life for purpose and for passion. And it looks to me with some of these things, because again, this networker energy and this no path forward except for a business energy, genuinely, it kind of looks like you won't talk to people unless it has to do with business. And it's nice that you're happy by yourself. It's to be celebrated. It's a powerful energy to live in, but you're not allowing it to expand, to see how you feel about the relationships that come into your life might be different. And here's the thing, I think the lessons that were brought to you so that you could improve your relationship dynamics were painful enough and disheartening enough that you're like, that's it, that's okay, no more humans, I'm done with that part. Your guides really want you to know that they were never ever trying to hurt you. Like, you've got it in your head that they're like a torture team sometimes. They're not. They know that, like, because you measure things by how many years you've been going through something, and it's like, well, it's been 5 years, you suck. Like, you know, there's absolutely no way that allowing me to suffer that long, there's any excuse for it. And they're saying, but you have decades ahead of you. When you come to the end of your life and you look at a 5-year period that was difficult and it led into 50 years of happiness, of purpose, of joy, and of connection, it's not going to seem like that much time. It seems like an investment in learning. That's all that was, is energy being invested in your life to give you better outcomes, not so that you would limit your outcomes. All right. Speak up more. Apparently a closed mouth does not get fed. This is Tidra Lang's apparently So deck. I've been using it in readings. It was given to me. I will drop a link in the description box down below if it appeals to you and you want to buy it, but I don't receive anything. I'm just trying to help out a fellow creator with opportunity. Either you're gonna poop on the pot or get off. Please stop cutting things off at the pass for safety reasons. And you're not thinking, and here's the thing, we do get these little test pancake type of relationships around healing, where something will try to come to us and it will be a repeating energy from the past. I think that you've had multiples on that and you just shut down. You decided, a man holding a heart. Remember, it's not a gender specific thing. With the temple path also fell out on me. What else have we got here? What does pile number 2 need to know about? Love wants to enter your life. And what you need to know right now is that you're shutting yourself down to it because you found a way to be happy in your independent energy. And you won't accept the thought that, like, but you could be happier. A relationship does not need to diminish that. A relationship could expand that. And you do not need to go and seek it out, but you're cutting off things that are trying to come to you. Like, if somebody tries to make eye contact with you out in the world, you look the heck away. And it happens to you, and you've made note of it. If like somebody who you might be interested in is looking at you, your response is not like, you know, hey, I'll engage a little bit and smile. And you look the heck away. You look at your phone. You try to convey no. Community. The sun as well. Okay. You have new things coming to you in connection. You're not allowing them because of a fear-based energy, and you're not in a painful place any longer. You're not. But what you need to know right now is examine the reasons that you are currently living in a fairly closed off energy. And examine the reasons, and it's not just around romance on this. It's like you don't let people be your friend any longer. And it could be. If you're hearing anything funny, it's just my little dog groaning in the background as she settles in. You had multiple, like, I want to say, you had things that were not relationships, potentially friendships, maybe romantic relationships, enter your life that were about illustrating the things of, well, that's what you're trying to fix. And instead, you came away from that thinking, that's all I'm going to be offered, so I'm not going to engage in this any longer. No, there is no path forward for you here. Friend, lover, doesn't matter. unless it has to do with business, you're not welcome in my life. And you're not that unfriendly about it. But this Two of Cups in reverse, like you really, it's trying to enter your life and it's having the hardest time making its way to you because you're just super shut down. And not in an unhappy way. If anything, I think that live your bliss thing, the opportunity and the networker, like you really, like you're like, yeah, no, this is good. I love my work. I make good connections there. It's at the level that I find it. You won't allow intimate connection on any level. And I don't mean sexually intimate, which is like people hear the word intimate and they think it means sex. It doesn't. It means allowing somebody to get close to you either emotionally or physically. And you don't let anybody get very close to you any longer. Chariot, charge ahead with confidence. Stay strong and focused. Please believe in the lessons that you have learned, making a difference in your path going forward. What you need to know right now is if you are choosing solitude for safety, then that is fear-based. If you're choosing solitude because you're like, I am content, that is denying joy. If you are choosing solitude because there are no good men, women, or whatever gender you may prefer, people out there, that is an assumption of positive transition. That is an assumption that the past repeats rather than we heal, we grow, we evolve, and expand. Allow more into your life. Allow more into your life. That's what you need to know right now. And again, that wedding rings, if you've had a breakup, you may have sworn up and down, I'm never doing that again. If you had a divorce, you may have sworn up and down, I'm never getting married again. It may be, it's what you're denying into your life. Union of two souls. Come on, guys. Intellectual matters. And then helping others and mentor. You will really only talk to people through your work. You are over-intellectualizing the idea of, should I ever have another relationship? Hey, I look at all of these situations and there are no good anythings out there. You think you know how something is going to turn out because of the way things have turned out in the past. You don't. You're different. What happens to you will be different. The relationships that come to you will be different. Please try to have a giant experience, not a teeny one. Messages from Spirit, karmic lesson, fear and anxiety. Okay, we're going to do this in the other way. Fear and anxiety, karmic lessons, messages from Spirit, and why are we doing it that way? The lessons that were brought to you so that you could learn, you could evolve, and you could expand. You are afraid that that is indicative of the experience you're going to be allowed to have, and it's not. But like it's almost like I don't really need to drone on about this because you've heard this message before. And every time that you hear it, like you figure out a new way to reject it. Like you don't think of it that way, but you think that like there's a reason nobody can get close to you because you don't have enough in common with other people, because you're just different, because etc., etc., etc. You're guarded. You're guarded. Here we go. New love. Okay, kind of knew that was coming. All right. Group number 2, I do not need to keep belaboring this point. You are afraid of new connection. And by the way, if this is not describing you, this cannot possibly humanly be your pile. And sometimes that'll happen. Sometimes in a general reading, there can't be a message for everybody. But what this pile is being told is, you did so much work to heal. You really leaned in, you unpacked all that baggage, you examined your wounds, you healed your stuff. And now you're like, I feel so much better. I'm no longer actively in agony and pain. No one's betraying me. I do my work. I've settled into this. I celebrate my life. But you're celebrating it from this very singular energy. And I don't know what happened, but you don't view connection as an expansive thing any longer. I think because of past relationships, which is the attachment thing, and then just your focus on work is admirable because apparently you're like a very conscientious person. That's one of the energies for the Queen of Pentacles. But it will not bring you true fulfillment. You've been trying to avoid repeating a pattern by like not engaging. And that's not... Please don't force yourself to live such a solitary life because you fear being hurt again. You know how to protect yourself now. That's what your guides want you to know right now. Take care. Be well. Hello and welcome back. If you chose pile number 3, then this is your reading. We're putting your number over here. We've got the before and after tarot bringing you predictive spread. We've got some pre-selected oracle cards bringing you what do you need to know right now. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. Let's go. All right, we have seed shell spells. All right, interesting. Create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. Remember, we need to take action on our own behalf. Very rarely will the universe hammer down our door and be like, this is for you, this is for you. If you're getting nudged, if you're getting guided, particularly towards increasing and enhancing and expanding, then go towards it. And then magic can be very, quite frankly, like, hey, it's time to do a little bit of new moon manifestation or full moon release. It doesn't have to be spell work, but it is indicating there that spell work might actually help you. Spirituality. It's almost like you've turned your back on everything other than very practical concerns right now. Throat portal. Speak your truth. Courage. Suppression. All right, so the throat portal, this is the it's a sky blue chakra point. It is basically in your throat. The Archangel Gabriel, which is what I'm a divine conduit for, is actually the spirit of advanced communication, and it is part of the throat chakra, the throat portal. Honest to goodness, I think you're kind of, it's like you've retooled the list of things that will make you happy. And it's more and more very 3D. All right, we have embrace the masculine. Oh, what's going on here? Remember, we all contain masculine and feminine energies. This is not about gender. This is about the masculine energy is like authoritative. It is conquering. Again, nothing to do with gender. There are women who are great leaders and very authoritative. The feminine energy is about nurturing and love and kindness and support, and men can contain that as much as women can. It doesn't have anything to do with the way that you identify. We have closing the door, completion. Learn from your mistakes. Is this going to be the same message that pile number 2 got? I hope not. Boy, you want to run for safety on something and you don't want to keep expanding. Is that what this is? Learn from your mistakes, spirituality. Cherry blossom. The reason I'm saying is it's like this is a difficult message to convey sometimes. If you're living in this content and powerful place and it's like, yeah, no, this is good, this is sustaining, I can do this. I have found my groove, things are working, I'm just going to keep chugging along. And the universe is saying, don't settle into this track. This is a leg on your journey. It's not your destination. And you're, I think, you want something to flourish and to grow in the 3D. And you don't like this temporary quality to your life at this moment. And so you keep trying to make things solid in a time where they are still trying to expand into the shape they are meant to be. Stop embracing limitation in all areas of your life, including spiritual connection. All right, I have the 3 of Cups in reverse. This is coming out as the same message, which is allowing people back in when you haven't been. Here's the Queen of Cups in reverse, which is an intuition card. I have the Hanged Man in reverse, which is taking action after a new perspective on things. I have the Tower in the upright. Okay. I have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I have the 5 of Swords in the upright. I have the 10 of Swords in reverse. It's a lot of trauma. Okay, I think I understand. 4 Cups in reverse, things happening behind the scenes, being haunted as well. Strength card in the upright. And then I have the Devil in the upright as well. Remember, the Devil is the card for the astrological sign Capricorn. It is not a bad card in and of itself. Now, can it be addiction? Can it be a relationship that isn't serving you? Can it be toxicity? Yes, 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 yes. but it can also be passion. It can also be indulgence. It can also be kind of allowing yourself to not simply, it's important to try and be the best version of ourselves that we can be, but that does not preclude enjoying life at the level that you have. Like you're really, I've got this weird thing where you're like paring your existence down to smaller and smaller things, trying to find joy. Like you think that, well, I'm never going to get what I want, so I better appreciate what I have. Listen, appreciating what you have is such an important part of life, of experiencing everything that we have available to us. If there is a day where nothing else is happening, then you took a walk, you saw a beautiful butterfly, and you saw some beautiful flowers, appreciating them is very important to a greater and a richer life experience. What's kind of going on here, though, is that you're very 3D at this point because you think that's all that's going to come to you. That it's like, okay, my spirituality, my connection to spirit, my guides, they don't have an investment in my happiness. They've kind of like abandoned ship, and it's up to me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work towards, it looks like past trauma is making you focus on money. And that you're not being scolded about that. You're just being reminded that like everything is coming to you. If it is taking more time than you want it to, there is a change coming up. It will be a radical one. There are things happening behind the scene that you do not know about in your life that will have a great impact on it. You will be living in this, the Leo card is, this is the Leo card, this is the Capricorn card. This is something that will take you into an energy where you are very successful, apparently. And you're being reminded of this because please stop retreating into the 3D in the way that you do. Like it's not that you're miffed at your spirit guides exactly, it's that you're not striking a balance in that you think you are. You think that you understand that there really is guidance on this, but for the most part, they do not give a hang about whether or not you're happy. They very, 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 very much do. Every single day, they try and bring you things that will guide you towards more happiness, but you get so upset over the concept of, but you didn't give me what I wanted, so you must not care. This energy, and this energy all suggest, along with this, and along with this, because this is about truth. The truth of your spirituality is that the closing door, the things that you were denied, are not about nobody cares about you. It's that you wanted things based on the perspective that you had from an older version of yourself, a version that you have outgrown. You thought you wanted all the same things that were really serving kind of an undergrad version of yourself. But you're very focused on 3D stuff and you don't invest very much in spiritual journeys because you look around at the world and you say, well, that's on fire, that's being blown up, that sucks, and we're going to be out of water soon. And you think that all you can do is invest in trudging through your 3D world and making it the best that you can be, and that the reason that you're told to have gratitude and to celebrate your life is because all that will ever come to you in the form of blessings is the opportunity to look at your life as a blessing. Yep, slave, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, but the shadow attribute is giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. You may have had that in the past, and it's the weirdest thing. But it's like you think that being on your spiritual journey, living in your purposeful path, it's like you don't understand it was your choice. Like you reject that because you're not happy. You're very isolated with this energy. You're not feeling very secure. You focus only on the 3D because you're like, well, that must be my job. They have no plans about making me happier. It's been way too effing long. So they've just given up. Listen, changes are coming imminently. You will be challenged. This person is looked up to and challenged to overcome with compassion the demons of the past as well. But this is wealth. This is indulgence, the ability to really like celebrate your 3D existence with a great deal. I have this with hedonist. There we go. Inspires creative energy to embrace good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. But the shadow attributes is pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. That can be that devil energy. But here's the thing. It's not that. It's that as more... We've got this weird thing where I've got delayed gratification around material gain that is causing you to feel like you have been, this is a traumatized card, you fought as hard as you could, nothing showed up, and so you think that you've been let down kind of by everybody. And it's not true. It's that more is coming to you, and you did need to learn to find that way to be like, well, there's a butterfly. That's, you know, I'm very happy with seeing that butterfly. What a beautiful world we have. I should smell this fresh air today because, you know, it could end up being polluted tomorrow. And you really are, I don't know how this happened, but you have taken the perspective that, yes, your guides are there to help you, but with the whole, everything is, sorry about that. Had to clear a notification, accidentally turned off my camera. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm not really sure how this happened, but you have over-invested in the idea that life is a lesson experience, that our spiritual journey is about learning lessons, and that, like, you know, hey, you will have suffering because suffering passes, and we're not meant to have as easy a journey as we want, because we don't want to be challenged, and our challenges come from, that's how we learn best, is by being challenged. But you, honest to goodness, appear to think like you've stopped investing in the idea of love as a life as a joyful experience. You don't. You think of it all as a long battle, and eventually it will be over. And like, if you make the most of every day, and kind of, you're trying to look for your blessings in a really delightful way, but in a diminishing way as well, where you don't expect increase. You're like, well, this is all I'm being offered. I should make the best of it. You're being too 3D in your approach. There's balance to be struck here. We have blocked partnership. Apparently they ain't worth a poop nor a squirrel fart. This is very interesting. This is Tidra Lang's deck. It is the Apparently So deck. I like it because it has such, you know, common sense wisdom about it. It's very direct. It's very down to earth. But basically, you may have been denied something that you really wanted because they weren't worthy of you. And now you've taken that, well, I'm just being denied. They don't care if I'm happy. You were blocked from something because it wasn't right for you. And you were very invested in it because you had not healed yet. And here's the thing, if this is the message for you, you can kind of go like, yeah, I can see that that person really was not right for me. I can understand that now. So why are you still walking forward with the, well, they'll never give me anything? I might as well invest in the pretty flowers, the pretty trees, the nice smells. That's all they're ever going to give me. And that's not what it means. Kundalini rising. Apparently the chaos and storms will lead you to happiness untold. All of the disappointments, they are going to make sense. But you have a lot more material success coming to you. And one of the reasons that you're receiving these messages is, quite frankly, like, you're not investing in the spiritual aspect of everything any longer. Like, you don't see balance. You don't think of, well, okay, that was a terrible experience, and sure, it went on for 3 years. But what did I learn from it? I don't feel that way any longer, which does mean that all suffering does pass if I allow it to. And now you just are like, it's with that slave energy, it really is like you're very confused about what spirit guides are. Like, they're Marine drill sergeants making you go through a terrible exercise that is life, and that you just need to try and find like whatever crumb of happiness is available to you. And it's because things did not work out for you yet, and they're begging you to hear them on this. This is create your story. It is the most potent form of magic. You wanted a variety of things before it was time. You wanted to hurry up through a healing process because it felt horrible. And so you kept declaring it done rather than saying, like, it's going to take however long it takes. And by the way, I do keep feeling better, so it really will end. Instead, you focused on the length of the journey being more and more indicative of nothing is going to happen. There's a big change coming to you. It is in the works in ways that you do not know about. And when it happens, they want you to hear this message, because do not think that, because all you're doing right now is investing in the 3D and kind of, it's like getting through things is the way you approach life. Courage. Victim mentality, yikes, yeah. With joy is fun. Happy success. Increase. All right, well, that fits exactly what I was just saying. This victim mentality, listen, I never like wording on that because it sounds like victim blaming. It sounds like you're shaming people for recognizing my life's been kind of hard, and it's not. You are entitled to look at your life and say, that was a terrible challenge. That felt incredibly unfair. Why did that happen to me? And the answer to why did that happen to me is, listen, why does anything ever happen to anybody? It's hardly ever based on merit. It wasn't a punishment. Life is full of struggle and life is full of challenge. We all have them. Do not think you know another's experience or their pain. You don't. But you can learn from your pain. And you can learn to be stronger, and you can learn to be more connected. And you are not forgotten because you were not given what you wanted in the time frame that you wanted it. Because a big part of what you were trying to heal has to do with belief in self, belief in deserving everything, belief that you are worthy of all things. And you kind of know it, but it's like you think the divine is a meanie. The Ten of Swords in reverse there is about being traumatized and feeling stabbed in the back. This is divine intervention. Your spirit guides will never get angry with you. They won't. But they're asking you to reinvest in the idea that as increase comes to you and you are more and more successful, that is not a call to invest in the 3D because they could yank it away at any time because that's their track record. That is not what it means. Please stop, because you measure what's happened based on what you didn't get rather than what you did. If something intervened to help you, if you've been guided towards messages of increase, of healing, again, the blocked partnership with Kundalini Rising is part of it as well. Closing door. You were denied something you really wanted, and you thought you really, really wanted it. And partially because you didn't have anything else to want after a certain point. Like, this was what you had to invest in, and so when it didn't come to you, and it didn't come to you, and it did not come to you, like, all you started doing was there's a fatalistic energy to this. And more is coming to you, and because you're living in this fatalistic, like, yeah, sure, there's a spirit guide team, but they don't have any investment in happiness or joy. How could they possibly? They've watched me writhing in pain for years on end, and as near as I can tell, done nothing. They bring me plenty of challenges, but no blessings. They bring you blessings all the time. They're bringing you more. As material success comes to you, because you have become slightly jaded and cynical around the idea that spirituality and your spirit guide team is trying to help bring you more joy, there's a little bit of a disconnect around, you wanted things very, very immediately and before it was time. And many people do that. As something that you have very much desired comes to you, please remember that it's coming to you in the exact right time. Even if it took years longer than you wanted it to, it is the right time for it. And partially, why would they delay something until you had almost entirely lost faith in them giving a crap? Because you needed to learn to believe in you as much as you were believing in the divine, and that's all that happened. You invested, okay, this is a spiritual journey, there is something on my side, and I'll take all this guidance and they will steer me through my life path. For the most part, we steer ourselves and we get like little hints along the way of which way to go. And the part about being truly spiritually connected and having a connection to the divine is that even when things are absolute crap, you believe that they will get better because you know that you are walking a path. And there will be storms in life, and there will be difficulties, and there will be disappointments, but there are blessings, there are boons, there is increase, there are miracles. Don't just weight your life towards there cannot possibly be a divine presence because I have suffered. I swear to you, I read tarot for a living, everybody suffers. You do not see it sometimes, but it's there. And it's never a contest, we're only ever living our own experience. So somebody's suffering that really laid them low, to them is incredibly potent. Even if you feel like your list is 5 times as long as theirs, it is not that you are less loved. You really will have more guidance and more help. That is the thing that comes in with a greater load to bear, is you do have more assistance. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. You are transitioning to more material wealth. You are transitioning to more security. You are transitioning to everything that you had wanted in the past, the things that would allow you to have this kind of celebratory energy around the physical. But the learn from your mistakes is not about the past energy in terms of relationships. It is, the mistake in this is viewing things in a singular or an isolated energy. If something that you have wanted, if this closing door completion energy was about being denied something that you truly wanted, it was because whether or not you could understand it at the time, it was not truly for you. And here's the thing, from this particular pile, if you're watching this, one of the ways to tell is you're like, yeah, I can kind of see that now, but there's nothing's come in to replace it, so there must be nothing. Please invest in the idea that things come to you in the time that they are meant to. And the whole reason that you're getting this kind of like, hammer and tongs, hey, listen, this is happening, that's going to happen, and this is going to be how you're supposed to handle it, is not scolding. What it is trying to make you understand that you're going to want to view, you're not going to invest in it spiritually. You're just not going to invest in it spiritually. You've moved into the 3D just a little bit too long, and you're too practical. Like, you're still connected, but like you pretty much think you're on your own, and you're not. And like, for real, they really are sorry that they could not speed up a process. Your healing took as long as it needed to take. We have commitment, travel, that's progress, love life. Is it really about love life? Health, you are healing, achievement, and then I want one more on this, reinvent yourself, new beginnings. Your journey, your path, you were healing. You were not as healed as you thought you were. Even though things continued to hurt and there were disappointment, don't look at it for that didn't work out, I must not be loved. Try to look at it from that didn't work out, there must be a reason. What's the lesson? If I was denied that, it is not because I am not loved, it is because something in this world cares more about my long-term spiritual health, spiritual happiness, true joy, true increase, and true success. The instant gratification or the temporary gratification of a relationship or a set of circumstances that you thought would make you happy. Because it's weird, I kind of don't get the feeling that it's about love this time. I get the feeling that you have tried your butt off and that you don't have as much money as you think you're supposed to from it. That is not because you're being denied. It is because if you had been given the amount that you wanted in the time frame that you wanted, you only would continue to try as long as the rewards matched your efforts in the way that you think that they should. You did need to learn to be patient and to have faith in yourself, but now you're a little bit too invested in the 3D, and they're quite simply asking you to remember that the authoritative nature of the divine, the embrace the masculine of the divine message that you're receiving, it is not that they didn't care about your feelings. It's that they had to get a little bit tough around teaching you some lessons about what to value, because you are not valuing your individual experience as much as you wanted, your higher self wanted. You have more coming to you, and the reason you're receiving this message is, please remember, it is evidence of your being loved. It was delayed, and it was intentional. And if that makes you angry, please reconsider. You learned more than you think you did. Stop and find the lessons in why did you keep trying when you weren't receiving the amount of reward that you thought that you should? And it's because you had faith. Please continue having faith. More is coming to you. When it does, take it as evidence of blessings and of manifestations. Embrace the magic in your life. And they're sorry they had to be taskmasters on things. More is coming to you, including increase, joy, and bliss. Take care. Be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 4, then this is your reading. Modern Day Spellcasters bringing you a predictive spread. Your oracle cards are here. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget the thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. Let's go. All right, I have the Spell Singer. Cast spells of wonder and delight. A lot of magic stuff in this particular reading. What do you need to know right now? Apparently, okay, I hope nobody's casting against you. Let's find out here. We have gratitude. Awesome. This is the Enchanted Blossoms deck. I absolutely love the illustrations on this. Gratitude. Remember, intent protects you. If you are not reaching for dark energy has a very hard time reaching you. And that's the important thing to remember. Living in an attitude of gratitude, always trying to enumerate the things that are going well. It's good to acknowledge what isn't, because then you can process and release it. Please don't just deny it doesn't work. But if you acknowledge it and understand the difficulties, learn the lessons, and then release it, and then go towards gratitude, it does set your energetic signature to what you can receive and to what can reach you. I have Heart Portal, receptivity, generosity, and mistrusting. Okay. Are we working on trust issues? Let's find out. If I sound a little bit like, what's going to happen now? It's because I never know what message is going to come out in this. Here we go. See the truth. Okay, that's a clarity card. That's an owl card. This is a spiritual message card as well. I love these cards. They're beautiful. All right, we have Benefactor, grace and generosity. That is 2 cards of generosity, gratitude. We have clarity. The Spell Singer. Cast spells of wonder and delight. Remember, to receive, we do have to be willing to give. And it's not just about money. It is about being kind to one another, walking forward in an energy that is adding something positive to this world will attract more positive energy to you. We have let go of ego. Ooh, I'm a little confused on what this message is so far. Grace and generosity, benefactor. Wonder if you have a benefactor coming in. Maybe you do. All right, let's find out. Heart Portal. This can be healing old trauma, allowing more love into your life. Oddly enough, whenever I talk about alignment and calling in the guardians, one of the things I talk about is seeing your heart portal, your heart chakra. Green is the typical color of the heart chakra. I never resonate well with it, so I always use pink. It's green ringed by pink, so I love seeing the green and the pink there. All right, let's get going here. And why don't I like green as much? I don't know, I just don't. Like, at least for your heart, I like pink more for the heart chakra. Let's get going for pile number 4. What do they need to know right now? What message are their guides trying to get to them right now? What's going on? 1 and 2. Let go of ego. Remember, ego is sometimes we want things because we think they will fulfill us, and we kind of aren't correct. We want things based on the moment. And the things that are truly good for us have a longer trajectory than that. So if you have been denied what you wanted, accept that. Release the idea that you always know what is best. That is one of the ways to let go of ego. We have the Star card in reverse. Oh gosh, we have the Emperor in reverse. 5 of Cups in the upright. Knight of Swords in the upright. Swift and steady progress. I don't like the 5 of Cups there. It can be called the card of crying over spilt milk. It doesn't need to be, and it can be a card of mourning and of loss. I have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, the struggle. My goodness. That's a card of a lack of confidence. It can be depression as well. With the Death card in reverse. I have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Reversals are not bad. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. For instance, that's one of the cards that you only want in reverse. And then I have the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Queen of Cups in reverse as well. Interesting. What is going on here? let go of ego, heart portal, gratitude. This is a hopelessness card. This is a depression card. This is an abuse of power card. Boy, group number 4. It's like you don't want to feel anymore. Okay. Like you're not in pain, you're not depressed, you're not sad. What you have settled into, like the 7 of Pentacles in reverse is a card of not doing anything. It can be a card of failure. I am not seeing it that way in this particular reading. The way you have tried to achieve healing of your heart chakra is you kind of don't let anybody touch it any longer. Boy, you don't invest. Cast spells of wonder and delight. Remember, there is more to life than not being in pain. You have closed yourself down. You exclude too many things from your life, trying to seek a peaceful and a settled energy. This is a little bit similar to one of the other piles, but like I gotta tell you, oh wow, you guys have had the crap kicked out of you. You're at a stage in healing. Don't settle into that numbness of like, well, this is much better than it used to be, therefore I guess this is what being healed is. No, gratitude for having gotten through a difficult period. Understand that things can change. And you don't want them to change because like you've gotten into this, well, it doesn't hurt anymore energy. That must be being healed. It's part of being healed, but it's not all of being healed. What they want you to know is that more is coming to you. That the progress when it comes, it's going to be like a whirlwind and you're not going to really see it coming. And that benefactor thing, honest to goodness, it really is like you're receiving something from somebody else and it's a little bit out of the blue. Journey, door to romance, door to personal healing and happiness. Remember, the door to romance doesn't necessarily mean a romantic partner. It is receiving love from somebody, from an exterior source. Okay. Okay. I've got happy family. I've got indecision and appreciation on the table as well. I'm putting them down here because here, the indecision and the appreciation thing is more the state that you're in right now. Where like you're just happy to not be in pain. Like you're just happy to not be in pain. There's more to come. Don't like try to take root in this particular garden yet. This is a strange energy. Grace and generosity, let go of ego. And then I have gratitude. This is a strange one. And here's why. Because you have a life that is acceptable right now. And it didn't used to be. Like it used to be, as near as I can tell, incredibly painful, quite frankly. Because that's a hopelessness card. That's an abuse card. Depression. Like you really might have, I'm not trying to trigger anybody, but like you might have dealt with hopelessness where you were really struggling with trying to figure out how to go on. Please remember that's a normal trauma response, by the way, particularly for people who have complex post-traumatic stress disorder. If your life has been so challenging and so painful that when people talk to you about living a joyful existence, you're like, how? Like every single day I get up and like I just wonder what the heck is going to hit me next. And sometimes that's literal, but that's not what life is. When you're in a healed energy, you're able to handle what comes towards you. But that is not the same, that's not all that's coming to you. You really have this, I have arrived energy, and it's like, no, actually you're standing at the base of a stairwell that you're gonna ascend and keep going up and more will come to you. But like you're not, you have such an accepting vibe on this, but the thing that you're accepting is difficult. Mountain, know that you are protected as you face challenges ahead, but remain cautious. Your challenge is not about more, I don't think anything more difficult is coming to you. I just don't. This is increase. This is a feeling of inclusion. This is swift and steady progress and certainty, and it can be a traveler as well coming into your life. With angel, your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. You want your journey to be over. And I don't mean like all the way over, but you're like, surely, surely, surely this is done now. For God's sakes, how long can this last? How long am I going to be being tested? How long am I going to have to heal? How long, how long, how long, how long, how long? As long as it takes. And here's the thing, it's pretty much done. But please don't confuse being healed with not being in pain any longer. Because that's kind of what I've got here, is that you're like, well, this was hideous. This was not fun. But now, like, I've made a lot of progress, and, like, I'm not writhing in agony any longer, and this must be being healed. Being healed actually, like, you're capable of having joy. You're capable of experiencing expansion and allowing new things. It's the strangest thing. It really is. What your guides want you to know right now is that please quit thinking you've arrived at a destination. Will there be challenges ahead of you? Yes. Will you sometimes end up hurt? Yes. Will you also end up joyful and skipping through the daisies with glee and happiness if you allow it? Yes. Life is a diverse experience. To avoid the pain, you're like cutting off the delight. Grace and generosity with that benefactor energy. Something's happening there, and I'm not getting a lot of clear details on it. Prince, romantic charm and potential for power, but the shadow attribute is using power for self-aggrandizement. Do you have like a person trying to get to you? Priest, that's you. We have facilitates spiritual commitment, serves as a channel of spiritual energy, violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. I'm not getting that at all, but it really is like you have settled into this quiet energy as being like, well, that must be what I was trying to achieve. I'm not in pain any longer. I don't cry any longer. I'm not hopeless any longer. I don't think about like, oh, wouldn't it be great if this was all over type of energy. And you think that's being healed, but it's not. And the only reason you're getting this message is that challenge card, I do not think is about difficulty. It's that as more tries to enter your life, like you put up shields, barriers, boundaries, because you're like, oh, no, I remember this. The last time I let somebody in, I ended up crying. And not for a little while either. We have hidden emotions. Push and pull energy, and I want one more on that. You are choosing contentment for safety reasons. Do not define your life by trying to be safe. The death of the ego, the let go of ego is, please don't value safety as much as you are. Past life relationship, manifest. We've got all this manifesting energy around this. It could involve a love relationship as well. To avoid pain, you push away connection, but you push away absolutely everything else. And because you've arrived in an energy where nothing hurts any longer, like you want to stay there at like pretty much any cost. We're using Teacher Lang's deck again, the Apparently So deck. There's a link to purchase it in the description box down below if you wish to. I don't receive anything if you do. This is just a client created a deck, and I told her I would feature it if she sent it to me. It's fun. It has very down-to-earth wisdom on it. I sometimes sound a little funny trying to say it because it's not in the vernacular that I normally use, but then I usually speak like I'm a 19th century romance novel, so. Let's see what we've got. Opportunity. Apparently either you're going to poop on the pot or get off. You have something trying to come to you on multiple levers. Sucker free. Apparently the cornbread ain't done in the middle. You will be able to recognize peril. You do not need to be as guarded as you are. Real love. Apparently a miracle has your name on it, and there's a party of your life. Okay. This is kind of what I get, is that in order to remain safe, you have a very curated experience, curated for safety. The priest energy is there. The prince energy, like you don't view life as an ever-expanding thing. Your idea of a life well lived at this particular point is like nothing's kicking the poop out of me, so that's a good life. And is it a good life? Well, sure, but it's a limited life. Try to have an experience with what you've been trying to heal, what you've tried to been outgrowing is having limitations on what you will allow into your life. That's this ego thing, and sometimes we want things that aren't right for us. Let go of ego. Quit thinking you know what's best for you. If more is trying to come to you and you keep receiving messages of more, and your response is like, yeah, I know this is enough. Maybe there's something you don't understand. You're very astute. You have the ability to discern things very easily. But when you think you know that, no, I wouldn't do that, that wouldn't serve me, if it keeps trying to come to you, it would. If something keeps returning to you and you won't allow it in, ask yourself, what am I closing out because of ego, which is usually fear-ruled or desire-ruled. It is basically our lesser impulses run amok sometimes. We have the snail and huckleberry, trust in the invisible. Boy, you don't think of it that way. You really don't think of it that way by not allowing in. You just want definitions so much. You just want definitions so much on absolutely everything. What I've really got is this door to romance, happy family, appreciation energy. You are defining things in rigid terms for safety. And the message that you're being asked to receive right now is make some efforts around being in an expansive energy. Again, like, here's the thing, honest to goodness, none of this ever gets forced. If you're just like, no, I'm taking a pass on that because I just, I got hurt too much, no. That limits your experience. And will it cause you to come back and reincarnate and learn more lessons? Usually no. But it does actually limit the joy that you experience in this physical body. And the universe is expressing itself through our divine soul, through our experience here. But everything that happens is about improving life in this 3D form, helping this very difficult life form kind of evolve. Take every experience for the worth that you can find in it. And if something really, really, really hurt, and you are saying, I will never ever repeat that, I would rather simply not have that than risk that again, you have the right to make that decision. But please examine why it is you would quit thinking you know how things will turn out because of the way things happened in the past. It's that simple. That's the ego. I would not have another relationship because why would I want to deal with heartbreak again? It's not worth that risk. You do not know that that's how it would turn out. Just because you've had an experience doesn't mean you've had all the experiences. Twists and turns, burnout. Your hard work will see results, but your health will suffer. I think the burnout is on all levels with this 3D life. It just is. Wow, we've got planning, love life, and health, and achievement. You are making your decisions from a place of safety, from a place of thinking that you will know how things will turn out because you are thinking that the past predicts the future. What you really need to know is let go of ego and allow the divine to bring to you that which is meant for you. This gratitude for hey, thanks for getting me through that. Quit trying to divorce yourself from a spiritual path in the way that you are. Heart portal, receptivity. We have generosity in multiple areas, grace and generosity, and see the truth. You live in a pretty generous experience, meaning that you're generous with other people, but you will not allow yourself to receive out of a place of fear, and that is not actually being generous to yourself. That is making you live on a miser or a pauper's emotional budget in order to make sure that nothing can sting you again. Sometimes connection hurts, sometimes love hurts, but you know what it also does? It brings joy, it brings connection, it brings passion. Every new thing that enters your life, you're evaluating for, how's that going to hurt me? You do not evaluate things from what wonderful thing could happen if I go towards this. You say, I won't do that because why would I? Because you think that it resembles something from the past and therefore you know what it will turn out to be. Let go of ego. Everything that comes to you for a reason. Celebrate experience, celebrate expansion, and to know that even if like you get your feelings hurt or you end up laid low again, that what you've learned from this is not that, well, that's what love brings or that's what connection brings, but rather, I can overcome anything. Don't fear that you may have to overcome something again. You are more than equal to the task, and you are denying yourself beautiful things because you fear the bad things. Life lives in a balanced state. Please let yourself have the good, even if it means risking the bad. All right, group number 4, that was your message. Take care. Be well.